Hello everyone, welcome to our solution time with your online mathematics tutor, Michael. In today's episode, we are going to be solving a question on the sequence. And here we have, if the sum of n numbers in the GP, of course you know that GP means geometric progression. If the sum of n numbers in the GP 5, 10, 20, and so on is 1275, then n is what? Is dash. A 6, B 7, C 8, and D 9. So we are going to be solving these together to know which of these options best provides solution to this question. Now, talking about geometric progression, we have that in this question now, for us to get the value of n, we have that the sum of the n numbers of the GP is 1275. All right, but before we proceed with this question, we have to get the common ratio of the GP. The common ratio, you know, in geometric progression, we usually talk about the common ratio, and in arithmetic progression we usually talk about the common difference. Now we first get the common ratio, and to get the common ratio we usually say that the common ratio R is usually given as T2 all over T1. That is the first term, the second term all over the first term, which will also give us the same value as the third term all over the second term. And it will also give us the same value as saying the fourth term all over the third term. So this gives us the common ratio, and that is why, because they will give us common values, that's why we call it the common ratio. Of course, these are in ratios. The terms here are in ratios. Now let us check what the common ratio is going to be. And here we are going to have, since we have the GP, the terms of the GP as 5, 10, and 20, we are going to have that the common ratio is the second term. Here is the first term 5, the second term here is 10, the third term is 20, and other terms continue. So to get the common ratio, we say the second term all over the first term, and the second term here is 10 divided by the first term, which is 5. And it's going to give us the same value as taking the third term, dividing it by the second term, which is T3 all over T2, and our third term here is 20 divided by the second term, which is 10. And so it continues till other terms. The ratio continues to other terms. Now 10 divided by 5 is going to give us what? 2. All right, and 20 divided by 10 is going to give us what? 2. Here we can see that the ratios are the same. The value of the ratios are the same. Hence, we can say that the common ratio here is equal to 2. This is the value of the common ratio. Now, having known the common ratio, we can now proceed to answer the question. We have here that the sum of the n numbers in the GP given here is 1275. Now, we ask ourselves, we have two formula for solving the sum of n numbers of a GP. First of the formula goes when r is greater than 1. When r is greater than 1, we usually take the value, when r is greater than 1, we usually say that the sum of n terms of a GP is usually given as a, which is the first term, in the bracket of r to the power of n minus 1 all over r minus 1. But when r is less than 1, if r is less than 1, we have that the sum of the n terms of a GP is given as a, the first term, in the bracket of 1 minus r raised to power n all over 1 minus r. But here we are taking the first formula to approach this question. Since r is greater than 1, seeing here we have that r is 2, which is the common ratio is 2, and 2 is greater than 1. Then we are taking the first formula, which says a. Now our a here, which is the first term, is 5. So we are going to have 5 in the bracket of r here is 2 to the power of n. Of course, we don't know what n is, and that is what we are looking for. 2 to the power of n, then minus 1 all over r is still 2 minus 1 is now equal to, we are given that the sum of those n terms is 1275. So everything is going to be 1275. 2 minus 1 here is 1. Then we have 5 in the bracket of 2 to the power of n minus 1 is equal to 1275. If we divide both sides by 5, divide here by 5, we are going to have that 2 to the power of n minus 1 is equal to 5 divide 1275. 5 divide 12 is going to give us 2 with a remainder of 2. 2 to 7 here will be 27. 2 divide 27 is 5 with a remainder of 2. Taking 2 to 5 here, it will be 25. 5 divide 25 here is going to give us what? 5. So this is going to give us 255. Alright, now collecting like terms, we have 2 to the power of n is equal to 255 plus 1. That is, this moves to the other side. Alright, now 255 plus 1 will give us what? 256. And this implies that 2 to the power of n is equal to 256. And if that happens, how many times is 2 going to multiply itself to give us 256? How many times? That's about 8 times. Yes, 8 times. So we have here that 2 to the power of n is equal to 2 to the power of 8. Where we can also see that 256 here is the same thing as 2 to the power of 8. Here we can, the equal basis here can easily cancel out. Alright, they have equal basis of 2. According to the law of indices, they can cancel out, and here we have finally that n is 8. Therefore, this GP has 8 terms. And which of the options best provide the answer? Option C is the correct answer. Alright, thank you for watching that video, and do share it to your family and friends, to your loved ones. And until our next episode that will be coming soon, please do stay connected, and you can also drop your questions for solution. You are still on solution time with your online mathematics tutor, Michael. Bye, and see you in the next class.